And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Tigers!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
What is up, guys? Dirty Boots Sports, and we are back with episode 203. This is another football episode. We're going away from the college game that we did last week with LSU. Talked that for a good bit. Peyton was here for that. Put those up on YouTube as well, so go check them out. Got the full videos. Shout out Elon yet again, making everything happen.
As we're buffering on the Fire Stick TV over here.
I'm blaming this 10-year-old Fire Stick that Bill gave us. It's a piece of crap. This is just, it's an issue. Nothing about it wants to work fast. Seeing 12 and it not being Marquise Colston's wrong.
We should have retired it.
I mean,
he literally had no accolades in his career.
Yeah, he was
besides just being a Saint,
being one of the best undrafted players of all time.
Yeah, but he never made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but he's a legend.
So I'm just saying it's hard to kind of retire it and honor it without some type of an award.
Yeah, I guess so.
Besides just being on a list, you know.
Yeah, the Super Bowl. I guess that counts, right? He was on that team.
Yeah, he had to be on that team.
He retired in like 2012.
Yeah, he had to be on that team.
But yeah, I mean, he's a legend. But yeah, this is going to be AFC South. Pretty interesting division. I'm kind of excited about all four of these teams this year, and I think they all have something intriguing to offer. You know, you don't have one of them low teams like the Panthers or who else have we talked about? The Commanders, Giants, those kind of teams in the past.
Saints.
Yeah, Saints. I think everybody in this division, honestly, I think there's a path for each of them to make the playoffs. That's just how good that I think each of them can be. But now, yes, the Titans are definitely on the lower end, but hey, they have a quarterback and a lot of fun weapons. So hit up the Chasing the Trophy podcast. Me and Derek are both pretty high on the Titans, and we both like what Levis Mike can do. But yeah, this is going to be AFC South preview, and then maybe if we have time, we'll do another one. I don't know. We got a couple more weeks till football, so
we're about done.
Yeah, 2 more divisions after this. We'll have the AFC West, and then I always save the AFC South for last. I mean, AFC North for last because it's just jam-packed always.
About the NFC East, have you already done them?
Yeah, I did them by myself. I'm going to do an ad read, and we can get into this. Crown Detailing offers mobile car detailing services, conveniently servicing your vehicle at your home or workplace. They provide various services for cars, boats, campers, and RVs, serving Ruston and the surrounding areas. Reserve your spot today by contacting 318-474-0859 or find them on Facebook by searching Crown Detailing. Shout out to our sponsors, as always, for keeping us going. And, yeah, it's football season. If you want to sponsor us, join up. We're going to be putting out a lot of content. And I think Crossroads might be coming back tonight. Kyle's been serving the Lord in like Montana, and then I think Derek said he got back and just worked himself to death pretty much. So it'll be back eventually. We got fantasy football. They're talking every freaking week, and we got some more of that. I got 2 episodes of that to produce and actually post, and then Sound Scouts will be back pretty soon reviewing the Post Malone album. Pretty good album. Did you listen to that?
I tried to listen to one of the Luke Combs songs.
They were good.
I couldn't get into it.
Really? I don't even like Luke, and I liked both of those.
I couldn't vibe with it. It was the slower one too.
They were both good.
I like Luke Combs, and I couldn't do it.
I
need to try the Stapleton song. I need to also just try it again.
Try the whole album. Like I was impressed after you skip the first 4, besides the Morgan Wallen one, which is a banger.
Which one was that?
I Had Some Help. The one that's been viral.
Yeah, I've been seeing it on TikTok, I think.
You ain't never heard it?
I think I've seen it.
Song of the Summer. But yeah, this is AFC South. Let's get into it. This is, I think the Titans were last. Or was it the Colts? Probably the Titans.
Had to be the Titans. Wait, no, it could have been the
Who played
Colts.
quarterback for the Colts? Brissett? No.
No. Was it Flacco? No, not Flacco.
No, he's there now. AR-15 went down like week 3.
Yeah, he went down quick.
Who the crap played quarterback?
No.
Hold up, let me look at that. Let's see if they have a departure.
Flacco
Minshew?
just went there.
Yeah,
Was
Minshew.
it Minshew?
Yeah, he played most of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just got announced today as the starter in Vegas.
Yep.
So
Good for him.
wherever he goes, he always finds a way to start. But the Titans, yeah, they had the number 7 overall pick. Got J.C. Latham, who kind of had some late rise on the board.
Yeah, but taking a Bama tackle is generally a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any player from Bama.
Did they pass up on Alt?
No.
Everybody thought the Chargers were going to take Latham.
That was the rumor, like the day of the draft, was that Latham was going to jump Alt, and that like the Chargers felt Latham had a better ceiling or something like that, and they were going to take him at 5. Instead, it did go Alt, as it probably should have, and then Latham did slide down to 7 to give the Titans, another offensive lineman in the top of the draft. I think last year was when they got the guy out of Northwestern, Skoronski. So they've really solidified that front, and they've
addressed it.
They did it by signing Lloyd Cushenberry until he retired.
I did not know that.
I think he retired. Right?
What?
Wasn't he the one that retired?
No. Shaq Barrett retired.
Who am I thinking of? No, someone just retired from the Titans.
Well, it wasn't him. He's in the prime of his career.
Yeah, this guy was too. Oh, Sadiq Charles. That's who it was. Wrong LSU guy.
Wrong national champion.
I think it was Sadiq. Let me look. Yeah, he's a former guard. So I guess, did he just retire? Yeah, he retired August 6th. I knew it was one of the LSU, national champion offensive linemen.
Yeah.
That's in Tennessee. But yeah, J.C. Latham, that was their first-round pick. Tavondre Sweat, one of the 2 freak defensive tackles out of Texas. Nothing really else significant out of this draft. 3 linebackers is pretty crazy. So I guess that was a weakness for them that they went after. But Latham and Sweat, that's a very good 1-2 to start off your draft. Let's look at other additions. You bring in Mason Rudolph, not a bad vet to add as your backup quarterback to Levis. He played pretty well last year. Might have been the best quarterback in Pittsburgh.
These kickoff rules are the weirdest things I've ever seen.
I'm excited for it though. At the same time.
Oh my god!
I think after preseason, like once the real games start, I think we're going to start seeing some fun stuff. Because people are saying like at a late situation, like we might put Kamara back there. Just because you give Kamara 25 yards of open space, and let him do something in a close game.
Put Shaheed back there.
Yeah, but someone shifty and stuff that can make people miss like that,
like a McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, yeah. And it's not like
or Debo.
You're not really putting themselves at like increased risk of injury anymore.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a really high speed, high contact hit on them.
Yeah, so you can actually put your big players, Tyreek Hill.
It's just going to take a long time to get used to it, man.
Hey, the less players injured, the better. The more we get to watch the guys we want to watch play, the more happy I'm going to be.
Chase Young looked good come off that edge, Clay.
Hey, he's got a lot to prove. Saints might be back.
Not at all.
Trent
Taylor alert.
There he goes.
Pride of Evangel.
Mason Rudolph, though, did go into Tennessee. Last year, not bad for Pittsburgh. I've always just disliked him, especially after the Myles Garrett incident.
Did we ever find out why that all happened?
No, it's just he say, she say. But, Myles said that it was a slur, and Mason said no. So, that's how it goes. Tony Pollard signed a 3-year, $24 million deal.
Makes no sense.
I kind of like it because Spears is definitely. I don't think Spears was ready for a bell cow role, and I think giving them like a 50-50 split.
Who says they need a bell cow though? You go out and get Tyler Boyd, and you get Calvin Ridley. You already got D-Hop. Why do you need a bell cow? Levis needs to be throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Not bell cow in terms of
just
25 carries. I don't know if Spears could do 25 touches. Or, I mean, yeah, you imagine 15 carries, 5 catches from Spears. I don't know if he's ready for that yet. I mean, he looked good, yes, but, I mean, in 3 years, $24 million, there's probably an out, I would say, probably after year 1 or 2 for that. And Pollard, yeah, he had a rough year last year, but
he ain't the belt. He ain't an RB1 either. That's the thing.
So it's you have kind of 2 guys that can just play off of each other. And he's still got talent. And even though he had a down year compared to what people thought, everybody thought he was going to break out, be one of the best running backs in the league, he was still pretty good.
Yeah, he just never really took the huge jump people thought.
Yeah, and you do bring in Tyler Boyd, reuniting with his OC that is now the head coach of the Titans. Is it Bill Callahan?
Brian.
Bill's the dad that's the OC, the O-line coach now. Brian Callahan from Cincinnati. You also bring in Calvin Ridley, 4 years, $92 million deal. 50 of that guaranteed. A lot of money for Calvin, but Calvin put up 1,000 last year for Jacksonville. Great player, and a good. I like that 1-2 punch between him and Hopkins. Once Hopkins gets back from injury,
and I like Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, Tyler
Especially
Boyd is your
$4.5 million.
Tyler Boyd is your 3 is incredible, and then you also have Treylon Burks, who hasn't really flashed enough, but he definitely has potential as a 4.
He won't have a ton of weight on his shoulders either.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
And then let him play.
That's what I'm saying. Factor in those 4 guys with a Pollard and a Spears.
Who's their tight end?
Check Okonkwo.
Yeah, he's fast as crap.
Yeah,
right?
I think how Derek described him the other day. He's like David Njoku, but he hasn't fulfilled his potential yet. In 3 years, 2 years, Okonkwo can be kind of like an Njoku, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. And those tight ends always just seem to work somehow in Tennessee. Like the Jonnu Smith or
Nicole Westbrook or something like that. There's a dude like
Delaney
that.
Walker.
Not Delaney. There's somebody here recently.
Westbrook. Oh, Nick Westbrook-Akini. That's a receiver.
That's it.
Yeah, they just brought him back as well. You also signed Nick Vannett, not a bad tight end. Sadiq Charles, who retired, so that sucks. I think he was going to start at guard for them. But yeah, Lloyd Cushenberry, you did keep him 4 years, $50 million deal. Really has turned himself into one of the best centers in the league. Sebastian Joseph Day at D-tackle. Kenneth Murray, linebacker, 2 years, $15 million. It didn't really work out for him in Los Angeles, and maybe there's been so many of them
Dude, I want him to be a Saint so bad.
Yeah, so many of them first-round linebackers like him, Jordan Brooks, Devin White, Devin Bush, all of them guys that they all looked the past 2 or 3 years, or the past 3 or 4 years in the draft, they're going to be studs wherever they go. Now they're all on new teams within 5 years, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, Kenneth Murray, maybe he can revitalize his career in Tennessee. Chidubia Awuzie, 3 years, $36 million. And then, L'Jarius Sneed, you did trade for him and then gave him the, I believe, richest contract for a cornerback in history. Awuzie and Sneed, that's a heck of a 1-2 punch right there. Mm-hmm. Sneed, definitely a top 5 corner in the NFL, I would say, and Awuzie's not bad at all. And then you also did bring in Jamal Adams, and they didn't list it yet, but Quandre Diggs, both of the safeties from Seattle. Both of them can absolutely start, and you feel very comfortable.
The Titans got a lot better.
They did. I'm telling you,
a lot better.
That's a lot of good additions. Let's look at their.
I'm eager to look at the schedule.
Subtractions. Yeah, they'll be playing a last play schedule too. Their subtractions. Derrick Henry went to the Ravens, as we all knew, kind of 1 foot out the door, and especially after the end of the season, whenever he got out there and. Wished goodbye to the Titans fans.
Dude grabbed a microphone on the sideline. What?
It's an insane thing that happened, but
did you know that was allowed?
It was time. It was time for him to go. And
they're just going in 2 different directions, especially with a new head coach coming in, new philosophy on football.
Yeah.
This dude is not going to have a Derrick Henry type offense.
No.
Could you imagine Derrick Henry in the Bengals offense the past 3 years?
At all.
It made sense for both sides.
But what makes me excited is you are now looking at this offense as Will Levis, who certainly isn't Joe Burrow, but he has potential, and you can see him kind of getting himself in a situation where you surround this big arm that's young. Coming into the draft, a lot of people thought he could have gone top 4 and should have went above AR-15.
I mean, weren't there rumors like coming into his senior year, junior year, whatever it was, that he was going to be like a top 5 pick? Like people just were like
people up
in.
till draft day thought it. Like there was, I remember because that's the draft that we live streamed, and whenever the Colts got AR-15, we were all like, why would they take him? Will Levis feels like such more of a Colt.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, tall white guy playing for the Colts at quarterback just felt right.
Rufus open.
Yeah, absolutely. But nothing about Anthony Richardson looked like a Colt, and certainly not his play style. You just really can't imagine like a mobile quarterback playing for the Colts. So, I mean, we were expecting Will Levis to go possibly 4, and it wouldn't have been a surprise. Now, I was definitely against it. I thought Will Levis sucked, and like he's not going to be good, but
he's shown flashes, though.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he's played for the Titans,
I've liked Miami game.
I've liked a lot that I've seen.
Was that a Monday night doubleheader?
The Dolphins should not have lost that.
Yep.
And he's looked really good. Other subtractions, I mean, not really.
Nothing, dude.
Andre
I ain't heard half
Dillard,
these people.
Andre Dillard, Chris Hubbard, but I mean, neither of them were really
the cornerback room, maybe
great. You lost Christian Fulton, Sean Murphy Bunting.
But you replaced them with upgrades.
You upgraded with Awuzie and Snead, absolutely.
Like, not even close.
Danico Autry off the edge.
Aziz Al-Shahir.
Yeah, I mean, but really nothing terrible.
Yeah, I mean, everything they lost, they replaced.
Yeah, and they just got better.
Got better.
Let's take a look at the depth chart.
Hey, why is Jazz Chisholm not playing baseball tonight?
He got hurt. He's some kid asked him, "Are you healthy or something?" He said, "Yeah, but I got to wait my 10 days." So,
well, he's sitting in the crowd with kids. Nice, pretty cool.
Yeah.
He seems like a good dude.
He does.
I can't see Jack.
Will Levis starting at quarterback.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah. Can you see anything now?
I mean, I got my screen.
Okay.
Will Levis at quarterback. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. You also have Hassan Haskins. Not a bad
Where's
running
he
back
from?
room. Michigan.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, Hopkins will be out probably 2, 3, maybe up to 4 weeks with that whatever injury he had at the beginning of training camp. And then you also have Tyler Boyd, Treylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akini. Kyle Phillips has even played well. I mean, not a bad receiver room at all, especially once Nuke gets back. Chiggy Okonkwo at tight end, Nick Vanette, and then the offensive line. J.C. Latham and Peter Skoronski on the left side, Lloyd Cushenberry in the middle.
That right side pretty weak.
Yeah, Dylan Raduns and Nicholas Petit-Frere. Who is that?
I hope he's from
Ohio State 2 years ago. A third-round pick. Interesting.
They're so known for putting in a great offensive lineman.
I mean, could be worse.
Name me one.
From Ohio State?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
There's a tackle.
Smith, yeah. Is it Tyron Smith from Ohio State?
I don't know. There's a tackle.
I don't think so. There's like an awesome tackle. I can't think who it is though. It's not Tyron Smith. No, he's USC. Well, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Oh, we put in Rattler.
Is there a white guy? A white tackle?
I don't know, dude. I ain't got a clue.
I'm going to have to look that up real quick. Ohio State offensive line.
In the NFL.
In NFL. Paris Johnson. Yeah,
that's the only one. That's the only one.
In. DeJuan Jones. Maybe not a lot. But Paris Johnson, yeah, he was great.
Paris Johnson's the only one I can think of.
Let's take a look through. Yeah, DeJuan Jones he's a Brown. Taylor Decker. There we go. Not bad. Who else? Jonah Jackson. He's a guard, but
still, he's an offensive lineman.
Yeah, good lineman. Michael Jordan. He's been around. Not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
It was just a question.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the offensive line still is an upgrade, and I think this offense overall can be really good. Maybe not this year. Maybe it does take another year for Levis, and I mean, certainly this team could still finish last in the division, but I do think you see something that excites you for the future. Take a look at the defense. Sebastian Joseph Day, Tavondre Sweat starting.
I don't know him. Is he a Notre Dame guy?
Sebastian Joseph Day. Rutgers. He's been a Ram, and a Charger. There we go.
I just don't know him.
Yeah, I mean defensive tackle. So apparently they're running, I guess, a 3-4. Yeah, which both of your ends are pretty much tackles because Jeffrey Simmons is much more of a D tackle than an end, and then Tavondre Sweat's your actual nose. So that's interesting. But then you got Arden Key and Harold Landry coming off the side as your rush linebackers. Both of them absolutely are straight up pass rushers. They're not going to do anything.
Nothing else.
Coverage wise. Jack Gibbons, Minnesota second season. Okay, I remember that name. I remember him coming in from the draft. And then Kenneth Murray is also starting at linebacker. Oh, Shane Ray. I forgot he's back.
Wow. He beat depression, right?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Been out since 2018. That's crazy.
Good for him.
Wow. Awuzie at one side for corner, Snead at the other. That's absolutely
awesome.
awesome.
The back for sure.
Yeah, Quandre Diggs, very good safety still.
Amani Hooker.
And then Jamal, you'll probably just see him play
football.
Yeah, maybe some sub linebacker, maybe nickel safety. I mean, there ain't no telling what he's going to play.
Roger McCreary's a good nickel back too.
Yeah, I mean, everything about the secondary is very, very good. You even have Caleb Farley, who's one of their high draft picks from a couple years ago. Shyheim Carter. Kentwood.
Yep.
Wow, look at him in the league. I mean, very, very good secondary.
Good run, man.
And that's probably what they needed to go after, especially in this division.
Yeah, you got 6 games, or you got 4 games against C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence.
And then
you know what they're going to do.
Well, in AR-15, it looks like people are expecting him to be very good. Now,
it's not going to be as pass heavy as the other two are going to be.
Probably not.
I mean, because you're going to have to. You got Jonathan Taylor. You got one of the best running backs in the league. He's got to pound it a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, this team it looks really good on paper. I like what they're doing, and
show me the schedule,
especially with Callahan coming in. Who, I mean, we've all loved the Bengals offense, and we've thought him, and also I felt like the defensive coordinator for the Bengals needs a job eventually.
He'll get one.
Yeah. But I think this can be a team that maybe not this year, but next year can really make some noise.
Well, I really like their number if the schedule lines up.
Let's see. Early bye week 5.
Ugh.
You play at Chicago week 1 versus the Jets versus Green Bay at Miami.
Probably 0-4.
Possibly 0-4. At Miami on a Monday night again. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty rough.
Must be a doubleheader one.
Pretty rough 4. Indianapolis at Buffalo at Detroit.
Oh my God, they might not win a game
versus the Patriots. Okay,
there's one. There's one, baby.
At the Chargers, maybe.
Versus
the Vikings, you can beat them.
Anything's possible with them now.
At Houston, at Washington versus Jacksonville versus the Bengals. At Indianapolis, at Jacksonville versus Houston.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think within the division, you're probably winning at least 2, I would say.
You're going to split.
You can probably steal one from the Colts, steal one from the Jags. Maybe not the Texans, but maybe you still can. Like, I don't think anything's a certainty in that division.
What do you think the line is?
6.5.
Exactly.
For what money?
Over for plus 110.
Okay.
Which makes sense now looking at the schedule.
I mean, 6 will probably be kind of tough to get to.
Yeah.
And do you absolutely?
I don't hate the roster though.
Without Hopkins, them first
Dobbs.
4, that kind of does suck. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans stole 1 or 2 of them first games,
like Chicago.
Yeah, we're counting Chicago as an absolute win, and
that's
It's Caleb Williams' first game.
Titans will probably be the favorites for that game.
I don't know. Let's see what Vegas thinks. Chicago 4.5.
That's basically a pick 'em.
not in the NFL, but ain't.
I don't know, dude. That feels like a lot. Oh, well, they're at home. Chicago's at home.
At home for Caleb Williams' debut.
The city's got something to believe in for the first time.
$234 is the lowest ticket. That's the most expensive game the Titans will play this year.
That's pretty cool.
That's going to be awesome.
Good for them, man. I'm rooting for them so hard. Except for when they play my Lions.
The whole division I'm rooting for. That's crazy. I can't root for Sam Darnold, but
screw Sam Darnold.
And
screw the Packers.
I mean, I like Jordan Love.
I don't care. I don't like the Packers.
I like Jordan Love. I would not be surprised if the Titans. Yeah, I mean, they could steal the game against the Bears. They could steal it honestly, against any of them teams. I like the Jets a lot. I like the Packers a lot. I like the Dolphins a lot. But I think the Titans have the offense and certainly have the secondary. And, I mean, the defensive line certainly isn't bad either. Jeffrey Simmons is a freak. They've got the talent to make some noise. And, depending on how quick Hopkins does get back, that's just another weapon that you get to add to this team. 6.5, though. I want to take the over just because I like this team so much. And I feel like
that's
I'm always
what I was getting at. Like I felt like the over was a good bet, and then saw the schedule and I'm like, okay, now I know why it's plus money.
I feel like I always do this with the Titans. Like I've got this random love for them. I don't know why, but and it's always whenever they're expected to not be great. Like I know we did our little team draft thing that year. Like I was all over them. I know they had Bobby Trees. Like it was just a random thing, but I don't know. There's just something about this team that makes me buy in, and I'll probably take the over. The back half of the schedule is very winnable, and like I said, in division they could win 4 games in the division. I wouldn't be surprised.
For all we know,
Like I would not be surprised. And there's plenty of winnable games. I mean, even at Buffalo in October, that's not an automatic loss. I mean, certainly New England at Los Angeles, not a loss. Like every game in the back half is pretty much winnable, maybe outside of at Detroit. That's a pretty tough one. But man, that's a.
Do they have a Sunday night football game?
I was about to say it's a lot of 12 o'clocks.
They don't have a Sunday night game.
The only difference is that week 4 at Miami Monday night.
Because everybody's required to play on a Monday night.
Yeah, they don't even have a Thursday.
Whoa!
How does the Titans not have a Thursday?
They are Thursday night football.
Them and the Jags are Thursday.
I mean, like every year.
Wow, that sucks. Which someone we broke down recently had like 3 Thursday night games, right?
Yeah, the freaking Jets. The Jets got like 7 primetime games. Yeah. All because of Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
Who cares? Not me.
I'm taking the over there. I'm taking the over. So what was it?
6.5 for plus 110.
Titans over 6.5 plus 110. And what's the biggest question for this team?
I mean, I hate everything that I've given you has been like the same thing. It feels
it feels like everything you want to say is something offensive related.
Yeah, like does Will Levis take the step?
Maybe something involving the coach. Honestly,
that's what I was going with. That's what I was thinking.
I think Callahan was one of the better hires of the whole cycle. Like I liked him.
Does Callahan live up to the hype?
Yeah, or
because he had a good little bit of hype.
Can Brian Callahan spark this offense? Because I think that's what they need the most. Because I mean, for what the past 10 years they've been give Derrick Henry the ball, get out the way.
Yeah,
like this is going to be a completely different style of Tennessee Titan football.
He absolutely gutted it.
Yeah, so I think it's something like, can Brian Callahan just change change the identity of the team? Something like that. Because what Vrabel was, it worked for a little while, and they certainly had success, but now it feels like you're taking that direction towards, I guess, the new age of football.
Can the new era in Tennessee be successful?
Yeah. I'll get the official wording down and figure something out.
Some along those lines, so. Who's next? Indy?
Yeah. Let's see. Indianapolis.
Tell you what, the other 3 teams all have very close odds to win the South.
Really?
Way closer than you would think.
Even Indianapolis?
Even Indianapolis.
Well,
you might not consider it close, but I feel like it's pretty close.
Yeah. Indianapolis,
they
draft
took
picks.
the first defensive dude, remember? That was the first defensive pick, was 15th
they
overall.
Took him before,
and it was a guy that was
he's hurt.
They said he can't play football again. And then he played football again somehow.
Yeah.
He took like a year and a half off, remember?
He was the one that people were thinking was going 8 to the Falcons.
Yeah. But like he has like this massive neck issue or something.
Yeah, but I think he's good now. He's good. But
is he playing?
Yeah.
Okay, you just said that he was hurt.
Did I?
Yeah, you said he's hurt.
He was hurt.
Yeah, but I think it meant that he was hurt at one point.
No, yeah. No, he's good now. He's good to play now. He played all of last season, and there was people thinking
that last pick from Oklahoma down there, that last name doesn't sound like an Oklahoma football player.
Lawalu.
Yeah,
does
that
not
make no sense.
But I mean, between Latu from UCLA and Adonai Mitchell, those are very, very good value picks for what you got. Those, I like both those picks. You also got a Wisconsin center. You can't go wrong there.
Oh, yeah, that's a guarantee.
That's about like drafting a Alabama tackle, I guess.
He's going to take over for Ryan Kelly one day, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the draft, not a lot of big names that I really know, but those first two definitely were the standouts. The departures.
They did nothing.
You lost 4 people. You lost Minshew, probably good. I mean, he wasn't going to play this year anyway.
Yeah, he's going to be a waste of space.
You lost Zach Moss, back up. You lost.
Hey, I'm happy for him though.
I don't know how much he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be the bell cow.
He earned a shot at getting the starting job somewhere though.
Yeah,
he looked good in Indianapolis.
I don't think he's gonna have it a go.
Who's gonna have it? Chase Brown?
Yeah,
he's hurt. He got hurt the other day.
That's Chris Evans.
Same guy.
No, he's out for the year.
Same thing.
Isaiah McKenzie, you lost him. I mean, what, 3rd, 4th receiver maybe, and then Jake Martin.
They replaced McKenzie with
Sports
Mitchell.
Talk radio host.
Yeah, shout out Rust Monroe.
Additions. You added Joe Flacco. I mean, if something goes wrong with AR-15, Flacco certainly looked awesome last year. So you could get a lot worse at your backup quarterback position.
He's there as a mentor.
You brought in Trey Sermon. You brought in Michael Pittman on an extension, 3 years, $70 million. Not a bad deal. I mean, Pittman's a very good player. That's not really.
He's had a good little career so far.
Yeah, that's not really a deal that's gonna just hamper what the Colts are able to do in the future.
Yeah,
like some of these other receivers are getting.
He ain't flashy, but you know what you're gonna get from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna get about 7-6 catches, about 80 to 90 yards every game,
and maybe a touchdown. Taquan Lewis, Jannard Avery brought them back at defensive line. DeForest Buckner, 2-year, $46 million extension. Grover Stewart, Taven Bryan, Raekwon Davis, a lot of additions on the defensive line. It's like they're the opposite of what the Titans did. Zaire Franklin, 3-year, $31 million extension.
You know who that is?
Who?
That's James Robinson.
Oh yeah,
fantasy legend.
He'll be cut.
Probably.
Kenny Moore, you re-signed him as well. 3 years, $30 million deal. One of the best nickels in football. Julian Blackman, re-signed him to a 1-year deal. Ronnie Harrison, re-signed him. So they really liked what they had last year, and they brought it all back pretty much.
I don't think their defense was that bad, though.
No, I don't think so at all. So really not much change for the Colts in the offseason besides Adonai Mitchell, certainly an addition, and Latu from UCLA. Let's take a look at the depth chart. You have Anthony Richardson at quarterback. That's the biggest change to the Colts taking a step, I would definitely say, is can this quarterback that you drafted, I mean, at number 4 overall, be what you really saw in those first couple games last year and you were really excited about? I mean, he looked awesome, but that's been the question his entire college career, too, was can he stay healthy? Like there's just so much question marks around him, but whenever he plays, it's good.
If I was a betting man,
yeah,
I would say he probably doesn't stay healthy.
Probably not. Probably not. And
so you just got to enjoy what you got with him, you know?
Yeah, that's why you got Joe Flacco.
Bingo.
Jonathan Taylor at running
move
back.
the screen to the right. I can't see nothing.
Not really a backup behind him. Trey Sermon's been in like 4 teams already in the NFL.
Speaking of,
you're really hoping on Jonathan Taylor.
Dude had like 7 good games in Ohio State, and people were like, "Oh my God, yeah."
I mean, he was good. And whenever he went to San Francisco, I definitely thought
he had such a good stretch at Ohio State that like I read his name and think, okay, yeah, it's probably going to work.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But whenever you go to San Francisco and Philadelphia, like the places where every running back works and you can't stay, I don't love your chances.
Shout out Boston Scott.
Yeah. But Jonathan Taylor certainly in line for a bell cow role, as he should. Michael Pittman, your solidified wide receiver 1. Josh Downs, I think, is hurt for a couple weeks, but
he had a decent year last year.
I like Josh Downs a lot. I think he's going to be a really good player, but I think he is hurt for I think probably the first 2 or 3 weeks, like similar to Hopkins. Adonai Mitchell, you already have him starting at the 3. Just a freak. Everything from practice looks like he's what you expected him to be. Just big body, athletic, fast. Everything about him is very exciting to watch. And, man, that's a fun receiving core right there, paired with Anthony Richardson and the big arm he has. You also have Alec Pierce, who has had a pretty good career. Not really much else from the receiving room. Laquan Treadwell's way down there. Maybe he makes the roster. That'd be fun.
Dude just won't go away.
Yeah. Colin Granson, Mo Alley Cox, Jelani Woods. It's a solid 3 at tight end. They've been there for a couple years now, it feels. And then the offensive line, no issues really. They added a new piece here and there, but really between Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, and Braden Smith, that's your core, and you know what you're getting out of them, and they're always going to be solid. Looking at the defense, Kwity Paye, you have Latu backing him up, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Taquan Lewis, Taven Bryan backing him up. Got some good guys on that defensive line. I mean, as we saw, they added so many of them. E.J. Speed, Zaire Franklin at linebacker. I don't know who Sagoon Alubi is. I'm going to take a look at that. San Diego State second year. Okay. Has 5 tackles in the preseason. 20 tackles last year. So it's his third year. Okay. So that's a weak spot. I saw the other day that what was his name? Leonard. Was it Leonard? Shaq Leonard? Was that his name?
Yeah, he changed it, remember?
Yeah. That just seeing retired, that name.
Right?
Well, he went to like Philadelphia last year.
Yeah, at the end.
But just seeing his name and like 3 years ago, he's like the best linebacker in football.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And now he's just out of the NFL, and he's not even old.
That's the life of a football player, though.
It's crazy.
One little thing can change it all. That's what makes DeMario so impressive.
Yeah,
especially at that position.
Secondary, Juju Brents and Jalen Jones at corner. Safeties, Julian Blackman, Nick Cross, Kenny Moore being your stud there at nickel. Not a great secondary, but certainly could be worse. Blackman and Moore are both very, very good. Matt Gay, Rigoberto Sanchez, they've been there for a couple years.
Yeah.
It's mostly what they were last year.
Same thing they ran out last year.
Yeah, and which wasn't a bad team. So you just
didn't have your quarterback or your running back.
Having your quarterback and missing your running back for a while.
And you upgrade your wide receiver room.
Yeah, that's what's going to really take this team to a next level. Take a look at the schedule. Houston.
They didn't fire nobody, did they? Who was their coach? Steichen?
They have Steichen, yeah.
Steichen, and that was the thing. He made do with what he had.
With Minshew, yeah. They won probably 7.
I need to go look, dude. I can't remember.
What, their record?
Yeah.
I think it was 7.
Go on there.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holy crap.
Yeah, they had a good run, dude.
They won 9 games?
Yeah.
9 and 8. That's crazy.
And look at that defense, man. They didn't really give up a ton.
No.
Except for that 1 3-week stretch right
That's
there.
crazy. I did not realize that. But yeah, let's look at the schedule. You open up against Houston.
L.
Probably. But you're at home. The roof might be open.
Which I'm not super sold on Houston yet anyway.
I kind of feel the same way.
I mean, dude, I don't know.
I think
we'll talk about it in a
good.
minute.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
At Green Bay versus Chicago versus Pittsburgh, at Jacksonville, at Tennessee. This is all 12 o'clock games so far. They're just saying screw you. And they're going to keep that way till week 10. Versus Miami, at Houston. So you're done with Houston week 8. At Minnesota versus Buffalo. And then you finally get to play a primetime game Sunday night football
none other
against the Jets. November 17th. So that's your first game that's not at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Which, do you like that? I mean, it keeps you consistent.
Not to be offensive towards the Colts, but when I hear the Colts, I don't think about nighttime football games. I think about seeing that sun glaring through the roof. I feel them in the early slate of the red zone every week.
Yeah, and if they have a Thursday game, it's on the road in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
let's see if they have one. Okay, they don't play Thursday football either. Is Thursday night football happening?
Yeah, because the Jets have 3 of them.
How does the Colts and Titans not have one? That's just insane.
I wonder if it's a division thing. Maybe the whole division ain't got it.
The Jags have to.
Shit, well, no, they got 2 London games.
Yeah, but they still have to. At the Jets, week 11, and then you're right back to 12 o'clock on a Sunday versus the Lions, and at New England. Late bye week, week 14. So that's 13 weeks that AR-15 has to be healthy. And then you go at Denver in December. Hey, it's not at 12. It's just at 12 local time or whatever for Denver. That's a pretty rough one right there. High altitude in Denver, but maybe you can go that week early and
it's going to be cold.
Adjustable. Yeah,
that's why they did that.
Yeah. Versus Tennessee, at New York versus Jacksonville. I mean, all that back half is certainly winnable. The last 5 games: New England, Denver, Tennessee.
Yeah, they end with a good ending. You
just got to have your quarterback. That's the big.
And that's could be the ultimate question for them.
What's the?
You got to have your quarterback. Got to have your running back. What would you guess it to be? I like seeing you guess.
I mean, they're such a weird team.
It's a crapshoot.
They're such a weird. They won 9 games last year, and I love AR-15. Well, if they won 9 games last year and they got better, because they didn't get worse. I think
Josh
they got better.
Downs just ran a mile.
I'd probably say 8.5.
8.5.
Okay.
Yeah. 8.5 minus 105. Under 8.5 minus 115. Plus 310 to win the division, which does not feel like long odds at all.
For the third place team.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. Like the top 3 teams are all like right there, it feels like.
I mean, I just don't really know what to feel about this team. Like,
let me see them play 3 weeks and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, especially those first 3.
Let me see them play those 3 games.
Houston, Green Bay, and Chicago. There's just, when I've done all these previews, I've usually looked at the team, looked at the depth chart, looked at the schedule, and I have like a pretty clear feeling of.
Like the Titans. We liked everything the Titans have done. We're looking at it, we're like, okay, that's going to be fun. There's some excitement there. I think since the Colts basically are running the same exact team out there, minus the quarterback situation and running back situation, it's kind of like, okay, well, I can't really get pumped up about it because there's nothing new there.
Yeah.
But then you look at what they did last year without their quarterback, so it lets you know they have a really good head coach, undoubtedly.
And I love this quarterback.
Yeah, and you love the dude for really no apparent reason, except for like 3 games that he ran the ball a lot in.
I just, there was just something about him that felt like he was going to be really good in the NFL.
Well, I thought the same thing with RG3, but here we are.
Yeah, I think
that's who he reminds me of.
I'm still got my. Well, I think he can be Josh Allen. That's his ceiling. With his size and everything, that's what he can be.
How about Cam Newton?
I mean,
Cam Newton's a poor man's Josh Allen.
Ooh, Cam Newton's an MVP in a Super Bowl, like at a perfect season. Come on now.
He had a good.
Josh
isn't. Year.
Josh isn't on Cam's level yet.
Oh my God.
Josh isn't on Cam's level yet.
Oh, Clay.
Cam Newton is, I would say, close to a Hall of Famer right now. Josh Allen isn't.
He had 1 year.
He had numerous years with nothing around him. Cam Newton was an awesome football player.
Yeah.
And he had a national championship, and he had a Heisman Trophy with a team that had nobody on his offense make it to the NFL.
Yeah, but he was getting paid under the table, so that don't count.
Well, yeah, but he's getting paid for what? To go out there and win a championship? All right. We'll pay you. Cam Newton was awesome.
He ain't no Josh.
He was awesome. But AR-15, that's what he can be. He can be Josh Allen.
His number's 5, right?
Yeah, but AR-15, it just sounds better. And he used to wear 15. You can't say AR-5.
I mean, it's accurate.
Nah. It's like Karolinko, I think, changed from 47 one time.
That should be
whenever
illegal.
He went to, like, Brooklyn or something.
He about tore his ACL right there. I don't know, dude. I can't get a read on him.
It's hard for me not to say over.
I just think the division's going to be a lot closer than people realize.
Yeah, and that's another thing about it is like,
at the end of the day, you can't take the AFC South out these teams, man. They're going to lose games they shouldn't lose, all of them.
That's right.
And they're all going to beat some teams they shouldn't beat, no matter who they are.
And with AR-15, you feel better. God, saying AR-15 this much might get me banned from YouTube or something.
Yeah, you need to watch it. I'm over talking about aiming and stuff.
Using, like, with him, Minshew, he's certainly a better player than Minshew, or certainly a higher ceiling. But with Minshew, you know what he is. Like, he's safe, not really going to do much to lose you as a team, but he's not going to win a game for you like I think Richardson can. And that might be something that takes a year. Because, I mean, Richardson, no one expected him to come in year one and be good. No one expected him to start week one. Everybody thought he was going to take a week or two to come out there, or, maybe even take the whole first year off because he felt like that much of a project. So maybe he still needs that year, and Trent Taylor just dropped a touchdown. Maybe he just needs that time still, so you see them take a step back from wins while you're kind of growing towards the future and feeling more hopeful.
Yeah.
So that's going to make me take the under, which is what? Minus 115?
Minus 115. So pretty much even money. He really did drop that touchdown, didn't he?
Yeah. Colts under 8.5.
Yeah.
Minus 115. Yeah, it's just, I think there's a lot of questions between keeping Richardson healthy, seeing what Richardson can be, and it's not an easy schedule. Like there's really no part of this schedule where I'm like wins. Besides at the very end when who knows who's out there at quarterback. And can Flacco even replicate that magic even close to what he did in Cleveland? What's the biggest question for them? I mean, you got to go quarterback, right?
Yeah. Is Anthony Richardson real?
Is he the answer? Is AR-15 the answer?
Some say yes.
That's right.
Hold on, I'm going to look at his stats, dude, because I'm just not sure.
From last year?
Yeah, I don't remember him just being like, oh my God, he's going to be good.
He made some plays that you were like really good. Like, here we go. I got him.
Oh, I found it too.
Opening week, 223 and a touchdown, and then he ran for 40 and a touchdown. They lost that game 31-21. Week 2,
he got banged up.
Got hurt.
Got hurt in 2
But
of the
he ran
4
for
games.
2 touchdowns when he got hurt. Week 3, threw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 44 completion percentage, 56 yards, touchdown, and they lost in overtime. Then the Titans got hurt. Yeah.
And you're just completely sold on this dude.
I was sold on him before he got here. So like
he got sacked 7 times in basically like 2.5 games.
Well, but
7.
It's going to take time.
He got sacked 4 times by the Jaguars.
Sam Howell dang near set the record for sacks last year, and you love him.
Yeah. He's going to light it up whenever Geno sucks in Seattle.
I was all on Richardson before the draft. So, I was the camp of...
He got sacked with a good offensive line, too.
I mean, hey, the Jets have... I mean, the Jags have Josh Allen and...
Calvin Chase Hong.
Yeah. I was of the camp that it goes Stroud, Richardson, Young. That was my draft order for quarterbacks. So, I'm going to stick with that. Hey, Stroud's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, we all had Stroud, though.
No, I mean...
I did.
Well, yeah, we did. But, the general consensus was that it was Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah, that's why he went 1.
Yeah. Let's go Jacksonville. First round. I forgot they had the LSU draft.
Yeah, they did. And they got Matt House.
Yeah, sadly. Brian Thomas Jr., round 1, 23 overall at receiver. Mason Smith, D-tackle, 48 overall from LSU. Jerrion Jones, Jordan Jefferson, LSU, defensive tackle, 116 overall. You got a running back from Texas, kicker from Arkansas. Let's see what you lost from this team. Jamal Agnew, Calvin Ridley, we already talked about him.
Oh, Calevon left.
Yeah, to the Panthers. Zay Jones, not a ton. Trey Herndon, Darius Williams was a starter at defensive back. Rayshawn Jenkins was a starter as well. You lost 2 kickers on how that happens. Additions, Mac Jones, who people saying looking good in preseason.
If he's playing, he got big issues.
Maybe. Trevor Lawrence, 5-year deal, $275 million. Jesus Christ. A lot of money for quarterbacks nowadays. Dearness Johnson, brought him back. I like old Dearness. He's always been a good player.
Always been an above-average backup.
Yeah. Gabe Davis, big deal, 3 years, $39 million. Up
so
to
undeserving.
50. I mean,
undeserving.
He's made some plays. Devin Duvernay, got him out of Baltimore finally.
Gabe's getting paid off of one game.
The 5 touchdown game or whatever it was in the playoffs.
That his team lost.
Yeah, but he scored a lot.
He's getting paid and has a career off of that.
Ezra Cleveland brought him in at guard, 3 years, $28 million. Mitch Morse at center, 2 years, $10 million. Josh Allen, who I think added a name to his name. Josh Allen Hines now, I think is his name. 5 years, $150 million. Very good edge rusher. Foye Oluokun, 4 years, $45 million. Yeah, he's a tackling machine. Arik Armstead, 3 years, $51 million. That's a big addition for them. Ronald Darby still plays football. Trey Flowers, Terrell Edmonds, Darnell Savage, Joey Sly brought him back. So a lot of additions in the secondary, but really nothing significant. Just some depth pieces. Let's take a look at this team. Not really much additions. Like they didn't really change much either.
After you pay your quarterback all that kind of money, you really can't do a whole lot in free agency.
And what did they go last year? Let's see.
They were probably about 10 wins.
9-8.
Yeah.
Depth chart. Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. Travis Etienne at running back. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr. Also been some rumblings about Parker Washington and possibly that he might start over Gabe. I mean, not over Gabe, over Brian Thomas.
Yeah, you can't you can't forget that they're also paying Christian Kirk a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. That's a huge deal that he got.
Yeah, so they really ain't got a whole lot.
Yeah. Evan Ingram.
Who is
Luke
Parker
Farrell.
Washington?
I believe. Was he an Ohio State guy? Penn State. That's it.
Is he a Caucasian?
Second year guy. He showed some flashes last year, and he's looking good in camp. They're saying that he might start over BTJ to start off.
He's just been in the system. That's all it is.
Maybe. Evan Ingram at tight end, coming off a really good year yet again. Cam Robinson, Ezra Cleveland, Mitch Morse, Brandon Scherf, Antoine Harrison. Not a bad offensive line at all.
When did Mitch Morse get there?
This year. They signed him. Walker Little as well at backup. He's a pretty high draft pick a couple years ago. So, I mean, a good offensive line all around. Certainly something you need to have with Trevor Lawrence back there. Josh Hines Allen.
That does not flow good at all.
Does not. But, hey, he's not Josh Allen anymore, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, he probably got tired of getting confused.
Yeah. Devon Hamilton, Arik Armstead, Trayvon Walker. Not a bad offensive line. I mean, defensive line at all. Your two edges, I mean, your two defensive ends are more like linebackers.
Yeah. They're
so it's a 4-3, but they're pretty much just
you're running a 2-5.
Yes,
somehow.
essentially. You have Oluokun and Devin Lloyd at linebacker with Chad Muma,
whoever that is.
Montana, Wyoming, wrong random school. All just tackling freaks. So, yeah, you are really not getting any type of pass rush from those three linebackers there. Let's looking at the secondary, Tyson Campbell, Amani Oruwariye. I like him. Used to be a Lion. Ronald Darby starting at corner in 2024. My God.
Click on him.
2015 draft? Yeah. Insane. He is, wow.
He's still getting it, man. What number team is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th team, too. Good for him.
He ain't had a pick since 2019.
It don't matter. He ain't getting no targets.
How do you not get a pick in 4 years as a starter pretty much everywhere? That's insane. Maybe just him, he's just an island.
He got his pension.
Andrew Sisko, Darnell Savage. Still got Andrew Wingard back there. Terrell Edmonds. Secondary's not great, but you know, Tyson Campbell's a really good corner. I like Savage a lot. Looks like Cam Little has already won out the job at kicker. Going to the schedule. 2-0 in the preseason. Good start. Open up with Miami, Cleveland, Buffalo, Houston. 3 of them on the road.
They're all opened up with a rough stretch,
that's
man.
pretty brutal. Versus Indianapolis, versus Chicago in London, versus New England in London, back-to-back weeks. Versus Green Bay at Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football. That's you're losing that game.
Which
also
one?
At Philadelphia Sunday Night Football in November.
Yeah.
Also at Buffalo,
raining.
probably on a Monday night. You're not winning. No one circles the wagons.
Better freaking not win. Is 6:30 an accurate start time? Like, that don't feel right. That's the second Monday Night Football game at 6:30 I've seen tonight.
Maybe it's 6:30 and then for like the show, and then at 7 it starts.
Dude, they got noon on here for the other stuff.
Yeah,
7:20 for Sunday Night Football.
It does feel weird.
That's not accurate. They had to change the time slot. Or is there a doubleheader that week? Click on go to week 3. I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but man, it's been
I've
bothering
noticed
me.
that as well. Let's see. Yeah,
There's 2 of them. Okay.
7:15 Commanders Bengals. Who was the other team?
Was it I think it was the Colts had one.
Titans don't play on Mondays.
They don't play at nighttime.
No, the Colts don't play outside of 12.
That's right. They're scared of the sun. Ursay has to figure out if he's opening the roof or not.
Let's see. Week 4.
So there's going to be a doubleheader that many times,
Ooh, that's
man.
JD5 versus Burrow. That's fun.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, doubleheader again. Titans, Dolphins, Seahawks, Lions. Why not?
They better not be doing a doubleheader every week, man.
I don't think they are. Week 2, they're not. Falcons,
right,
Eagles.
good.
That's a good game. Week 1, they usually do it week 1.
They usually do.
No,
week
but
1.
I bet because they have the Brazil
that Friday
game.
night game.
Jets, Niners. My God. Oh, football's going to be awesome. So is it just week 3 and 4? And why? Ugh. Saints, Chiefs.
God. We might get beat by 60.
Yeah, Arrowhead on a Monday night. You're not winning that. But yeah, the Jags, not an easy schedule to say the least to open up this season. But you do have practically 4 home games, given that you have 2 London games and you have an actual home game surrounding those 2. Monday night in Buffalo and Sunday night in Philadelphia, not easy. On the road in Detroit, on the road Miami, on the road Houston. Like, all the road games are pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, and some of the home games, Cleveland, Green Bay, like, that's some tough competition. Looking at the back half, Houston at Tennessee versus the Jets, at Vegas versus Tennessee at the Colts. So you don't play Tennessee till week 14. Bye week 12, that's not a bad one. I don't know. It's not an easy schedule, but it's not
daunting.
It's not brutal. And, if
it's just them road games, man. All them road games out of division, they're pretty scary.
Yeah, they are.
If you look past that, the schedule's not horrible.
It's not.
I mean, you get Indianapolis, Chicago, New England, and then Green Bay in a 4-week stretch. There's no reason why they shouldn't go 3-1 right there, if not 4-0.
I was going to say, looking at that Indianapolis, Chicago, New England stretch,
because they're going to have a massive advantage
in London.
Playing back-to-back weeks.
That's a 3-game stretch where you need to go 2-1 at least.
Yeah,
if not 3-0. But you could go 1-2, and I would not be surprised.
Like, they've got to beat New England.
Yeah, pretty
Week
much.
7,
pretty
like
much.
that.
They could go 1-2 and lose to Indianapolis and Chicago, and I'm not surprised.
And I don't
at
understand
all.
how people look at that as being fair.
Back to back in London.
Yeah, well, not from their standpoint, from the opponent.
The Patriots.
Yeah, that's not fair to them.
Yeah, because they've got that whole week there, or that whole 2 weeks.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, they're home.
Yeah.
I bet last year. Go to their schedule from last year. I know I'm all over the place, dude, but that's worth looking at.
They won both. Second one was the Bills. That's when we were in. No. The Falcons one was when we were in Tennessee at the card show.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the Disney game, the Toy Story.
Oh,
where they had
stupid
Bijan.
Crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's something to talk about.
About that back stretch for them after the bye. They were 6-2 going into the bye week, and then they finished 9-8.
But look how many 1-score games they lost in a row.
Yeah, and it's also a pretty brutal schedule. You lost to San Francisco, playoff team. Cincinnati should have been a playoff team.
If Burrow didn't
Cleveland,
hurt.
playoff team. Baltimore, playoff team. Tampa Bay, playoff team. Tennessee, division game. Like
at the end of the year, whenever your season was done.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty brutal stretch.
Yeah,
and then your wins were Colts, Atlanta, which sucked, Buffalo at your second home game in London versus the Colts without AR-15. Saints sucked. Pittsburgh sucked. Titans, first game when the season mattered still, and then you snuck by one in Houston, and then you beat the freaking Panthers.
They always beat Houston.
They beat the bad teams, and they lost to the good teams. That's pretty much how it went.
That's pretty much how football goes for an average team.
Yeah. So that makes me think their line's probably 8.5.
It's 8.5. And, hey, it is even money's pick 'em.
Really?
-110, -110. And that's why it's a pick 'em, basically, because you have no idea.
I just struggle to believe in this team.
Yeah, you're not going to believe in them.
I struggle to because I do not like Trevor Lawrence, and I don't. Did they upgrade enough, or you just really banking
wide
on
receiver wise? They basically stayed the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. BTJ to Zay is not a big difference.
That's the same guy right now in his career.
And Gabe,
he sucks. He had one game.
They might have downgraded at receiver.
They probably did
because you lost Calvin as well.
Oh, they definitely downgraded.
Calvin
they got
and Zay
worse.
to Gabe and BTJ.
100% got worse.
So really, it's just can Trevor Lawrence freaking?
Can he actually do it?
Like, yeah, is Trevor Lawrence good? I mean, that's how I'm saying it.
So the question is, can touchdown Jesus be resurrected?
Yeah,
dude, I hit it on the head.
There we go. It's got to be an under, huh?
Oh, I think so.
It's got to be an under.
I think so. And I think plus 275 to win the division's insane for them.
I do too.
I like the Colts. The Titans are plus 1,000. Are they going to do it? No.
I'll take it.
But like,
10 to
I like
100?
it for that odds.
-110.
Yeah.
So can TD Jesus resurrect?
No, can he be resurrected?
Oh, can he be resurrected?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, but that's the thing with them and the Colts. Are both of them going to be under 500? Probably not.
No.
Almost certainly not.
One of them's going to be better than we think.
Yeah, one of them will win probably 10 games. The other one I think will probably be at 8 or 7. So taking both of those bets would probably not get you any money. You'd probably go pretty much even.
You'd split them.
And it's crazy because I came into tonight kind of thinking I'm going to be lower on Houston and probably a little bit higher on everybody else in the division. And so far, I don't really like the Colts or the Jags. And I'm high on the Titans, which aren't going to challenge the division. So it might just be the Texans just that freaking good once we take a look.
I don't know, man. It's hard.
Gut feeling for the Texans coming in was,
oh my God, Mark Sanchez, cut that hair.
Gut feeling coming in was, there's no way that they're going to be that good and take another step that quickly. They're got to take a step back, right?
That's my thing, dude. It has
Second year.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, there's
something.
It's almost too good to be true.
Last year was too good.
Yeah, and they're being written up as if they're the next freaking Kansas City after one season. And yes, they won a playoff game against the Browns and Joe Flacco. I mean, it just didn't look great overall.
And then laid an egg in Baltimore against a not good Ravens team.
Oh, a not good Ravens team. No. Laying an egg on the road in Baltimore is a pretty fair spot, though. You can do that.
It was bad weather.
Yeah, you can lay an egg there if you're C.J. Stroud in your first road playoff game.
That shouldn't.
That's rough.
Dude threw for like $150.
Yeah, but that's a rough place to play. Yeah, there was just something about the Texans that makes me think step back this year. But maybe they're just that good.
We'll see.
Let's take a look at the draft class. They're an H.
So there's no way you're going the right way.
They did not have a first-round pick. They got a Georgia defensive back. Cade Stover, tight end from Ohio State. He was supposed to be one of the top guys before he got hurt, I believe. Not much significant.
Nobody.
I'll tell you what. You drafted a lot of good schools.
Yeah, they went with the Philadelphia Eagle method.
They drafted Georgia, Notre Dame,
Bama.
Georgia, Notre Dame, USC, Ohio State, Oregon, Louisville running back. Not bad. They produced some good running backs.
They produced guys.
USC, Auburn, Michigan. I mean, that's just powerhouses.
It's like
you missed LSU and Bama.
They didn't have a plan, so they just looked at best available by colleges.
Yeah, that's it. And hey, that's probably gonna work.
Probably not a bad strategy.
No, not at all. Let's take a look at the departures. Devin Singletary.
My boy Devin Singletary's an
good year.
RB1 again.
Yeah,
man.
he had a good year last year for Houston. Took the job from Dameon Pierce, and now he's going to New York to hopefully have a pretty good year. George Fant, lost him at tackle. I don't think he really started. Michael Dieter might have been a starter last year. Jonathan Grenard, you lost to the Vikings to a big payday, but you got Daniil Hunter from the Vikings on a bigger payday. Jerry
you basically
Hughes
just swapped.
Yeah, essentially. It's like the Hassan Reddick and Bryce Huff trade, pretty much.
Where's he going now?
Apparently, the Jets owner came out like the next day and like, yeah, you're not leaving.
Shout out Woody.
Malik Collins traded him to the Niners. Didn't really understand that. Malik's not a bad player at all. Sheldon Rankins, lost him. I'm hoping they replace some defensive linemen because, my God, you lost 5 that all played. Blake Cashman, Denzel Perryman at linebacker, probably best that you upgraded there. Steven Nelson, Tavier Thomas, Adrian Amos, Kareem Jackson. I think he might have signed somewhere again. He just cannot leave football.
That sounds
right. Look at their additions. Joe Mixon, got him in a trade for a 7th-round pick, because why freaking not? Like when you can get Joe for a 7th-round pick, you do it.
Yeah.
Is he incredible? No. Like, he's definitely on the back half of his career, but
he's Devin Singletary, and that worked out fine last year.
I think he's a little bit.
He's a little bit better, but I mean, he's
Mixon's gonna get you about 12 touchdowns and 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but you're not gonna ever rely on him to be the leader of your offense.
No, but I do like that you have the ability to, if things aren't going great, you can give it to him.
You think you have a guy at least?
Yeah, I think you absolutely do, and you still have Dameon Pierce, who people loved his first year. Now, last year he didn't look great, but
lost his job in the preseason, I think.
Yeah. Noah Brown re-signed, had some big games last year when Nico was hurt.
He'll do it again this year.
Probably
somehow.
so.
He always
Stephon
does.
Diggs, you got him for pretty much nothing. That's just incredible to think of, him on that team. You re-signed Nico Collins, 3 years, $72 million. Nico's a freak. I really like him. You got Ben Skoranek, another weapon that, 2 years ago, he was the number 2 for the Rams. Like, not a bad weapon at all. This is the team that I'm looking at for the Saints of someone's going to miss the team, and we can pick them up, and they can come in and be our 3.
Noah Brown.
Bobby Trees.
Or Bobby Trees.
Give me Bobby Trees right now.
Yeah.
Give me Skoranek. He'll get drafted in fantasy if he's on our team.
Shout out Fox.
Yeah. Dalton Schultz re-signed 3 years, $36 million.
How do they have so much money? Is that because
they had nothing?
CJ?
Yeah, they had nothing on the books. They were a young
Edwards
team.
Is still playing football.
Danico Autry, 2 years, $20 million. Got him from the Titans, I do believe. Mario Edwards, yeah, he brought him in.
Dude, they signed a ton of corners. Holy cow.
Tim Settle, Derek Barnett, Daniil Hunter, 2 years, $50 million. Him and Will Anderson, that's an awesome duo.
If they don't have
Azeez Al-Shahir, that's the
if they
Titans
don't have
as well.
like 25 sacks between the two of them, the season's a failure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
definitely.
Like, oh my God, Will only had like 4 last year.
Yeah.
So hey,
that's why last week I put him on that pressure list of I think he really needs to take a step. Azeez Al-Shahir at linebacker, 3 years, $34 million. So that kind of replaced the Cashman production. And then at cornerback, yeah, you took a lot of shots. Mike Ford, kind of a nickel back.
You're
2
basically
years.
Trying to find your guy to play opposite of Stingley.
Yeah, and this is it's a very fun group of names to say. C.J. Henderson, Lonnie Johnson coming back to Houston, Jeff Okudah, Desmond King, all guys that were at one point were very
first round picks.
Yeah, I think all of them were first round picks. Maybe not Desmond King, but the other 3 certainly were, and all of them were supposed to be like, franchise guys at corner.
It's kind of like Laquan Treadwell,
just bouncing around.
He's a first round picks. He's got to figure it out somehow.
Yeah, definitely. You also did sign Kaimi Fairbairn to a 3-year, $15 million extension.
One of the best kickers in the league.
He was great last year. So, what's going to happen with that cornerback room? And you do have Stingley still, and I'm not sure if they have the other starter. I can't think of who it was. We're about to take a look.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But that's fun to bring in so many of them guys, and maybe they can fix
Somebody's
it.
got to stick.
Looking at the offense, C.J. Stroud, still got Case Keenum, Davis Mills, brought in Tim Boyle, Jets starter. Got a 4th stringer that was a starter last year. Joe Mixon, Dameon Pierce, Dare Ogunbale, not a bad running back room. J.J. Taylor as well.
Can't see.
Stephon Diggs, Bobby Trees, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, John Mechie, Noah Brown, Ben Skoranek, Xavier Hutchinson. Like, that's 8 receivers right there that should be on the football team.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to cut somebody.
They're going to cut 3 of them.
Quintez Cephas as well. Not a bad player. Like, that's who the Saints need to call and offer a 7th-round pick next year for something. Like, I would take Bobby Trees. I don't think Noah Brown goes anywhere. I don't think John Mechie goes anywhere. Those would be the 5 I would think make it.
Mechie's still fighting cancer, dude. He's going to be the guy that's going to piss me off when it finally works.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because, like, he was so good at Bama.
Yeah.
So good, man.
But between Bobby Trees, Ben Skoranek, and Xavier Hutchinson, I think the Saints need to pick up one of them. I think any of them could be probably an upgrade in our room.
Well, the O-line's not that great.
I mean, Tunsil and Titus Howard.
How many times did he get sacked last year?
Can I look at it on his stats?
Yeah.
Okay. 38. It's not bad. About 2 a game.
2 a game. That's not horrible.
Laramie Tunsil, Titus Howard, very good at guard. I mean, at the tackles. Kenyon Green, Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason was a big help. And also Kendrick Green. I believe he's one of their young guys. 3rd-year guy, 4th-year guy, something like that. Kenyon Green, he might be as well.
I can't pick Kenyon Green out of a lineup.
A&M. Okay, so first-rounder 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then Juice Scruggs at center.
It's a heck of a name for a center.
Penn State 2nd-year guy. So, I mean...
Really young. He's got figured out.
Yeah, between Green, between Green, Scruggs, and Howard, definitely on the younger side, but Tunsil and Mason, both very good. The offense overall, it should be awesome. Should be awesome. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, C.J. Stroud, Dalton Schultz.
But you know the question. You know the question marks. Okay, C.J. Stroud going into year 2. Joe Mixon
got a year of tape on him.
They do have a year of tape on him. Joe Mixon gets banged up a little bit every now and then. Stephon Diggs keeps some type of nagging injury. Tank Dell's coming off a catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't think Nico Collins is actually good. John Mechie had cancer 2 years ago. Dalton Schultz is progressively getting worse each year. He is.
He might have just had his best season.
He can't. He has no way he's topped them Cowboys years.
He might have just had his best season. 2nd best season. 2021 was his best.
Okay, he's slowing down though.
I mean,
59 catches opposed to 63.
Yeah, he's not going to be an 800-yard guy, especially in that Texans offense. Yeah. But he's still a very good player.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, there's question marks around these guys.
Yeah.
It's a good video game team.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a very good video game team. But once you get into the real world of football, you got to watch out for all those little things with them.
Looking at the defense, Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, that's just an awesome duo. Mario Edwards Jr., Fatukasi, don't know that guy.
Shout out Mario Edwards Jr.
Always finds a way to play.
Dude, yeah.
Danico Autry is suspended. I'm not sure. It's got to be some type of drug.
I would imagine a PED.
He'll probably slide into defensive tackle whenever he's back. I don't see him just being a backup. He's too good for that. Looking at linebacker, Christian Harris had a very good season last year. Henry To'oTo'o as well. And then you also did bring in Azeez Al-Shahir. Looking at the cornerback room, Derek Stingley Jr., Kamari Lassiter, that was the other guy that started. Jalen Petrie, awesome safety. Jimmy Ward, been around the block for a couple years.
Lassiter ain't the guy they drafted out of Georgia?
It was.
Yeah, they just drafted him.
Crap, I thought he played
No,
last year.
They're quite literally looking for a second corner.
Yeah, which
with
Desmond King has kind of been that because
he's been there, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been there a couple years. 3rd-year guy. 4th year there. Between Lassiter, Henderson, Okuda, you're hoping one of them steps up to be that.
They're just throwing a bunch of dudes at a wall and trying to see which ones stick.
Yeah. You also have Lonnie Johnson playing safety now.
I don't knock them for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was them, I'd do the same exact thing. Go get some names, and just say,
definitely.
Who wants to play football?
Definitely. So, that the defense doesn't look bad at all. It's on the younger side, especially, linebackers, Will Anderson, Stingley, Petrie, all those guys are young. And, you don't really have a solidified number 2 corner, in which in that division, I don't think it's a big deal because you think you got Pittman, you got
Christian Kirk.
I guess. Like, is he the solidified one? And then in Tennessee, Hopkins / Ridley. I don't really know who's who there, but it's not an absolute travesty that you don't have a solidified two. And also Desmond King can help out with that. He's going to be pretty consistent. Let's take a look at the schedule though. You open up at the Colts, then you have Sunday Night Football Week 2 versus the Bears, and then at Minnesota Week 3 versus Jacksonville.
They all play Buffalo. In Chicago in the first 4 weeks of the season.
It's at home. That one's at home, but they do play.
But they're all
playing the Bears.
They're all playing them.
Versus Jacksonville versus Buffalo, at New England, at Green Bay, October 20th, not too late, versus the Colts, at the Jets, Thursday Night Football. There we go. First one for the division.
I got 4 guarantees so far.
Versus the Lions on Sunday Night Football. Give me that, please. That's going to be awesome. That Jets game's also on Halloween. At Dallas on Monday Night Football.
3 straight nighttime games.
And those are going to be all 3 awesome.
Yeah,
that's going to be good TV. Versus Tennessee at Jacksonville.
And they're all
late
3 separate nights, too.
Yeah.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday. With a
Holy
bye.
Trinity.
With a bye. Oh, no, it's not a bye. Just an extended layoff.
Yeah, extended.
Dude,
extended
they're catering to them.
That's a fun week of football.
3 games in a long period of time, it feels like.
3 games in 19 days.
Yeah, dude.
Well, then you have to, if you can count the week coming up and then week after as well. Late bye week, though. Ooh. And then you go Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore.
So you think you're great, CJ.
And then at Tennessee to end the season. And talking about that, you got a Netflix game on Christmas on a Wednesday. How does that even work?
I don't know. They'll have it. They won't have it figured out. However they're doing that is how WWE's going to be doing Raw starting the 1st.
Oh yeah.
So like
that'd be a little
that would be
teaser.
our introduction to how this is about to go down, I guess.
Man, at Kansas City on a Saturday too, because that's the good Saturday football. That's gonna be awesome. That's a rough 3 to end the season with.
They got a lot of rough games, dude.
They do, but
it's a first place schedule.
First place schedule, and it's a team that looks really freaking good. Now, does a late bye hurt this team? I don't really think so. I mean, maybe with Mixon and Diggs, but
it doesn't hurt it whenever you have those older guys or the guys that are a little bit more injury prone, like you said, Mixon, Diggs. Tank Dell is going to be battling something throughout the year.
But I think you've got enough depth to compensate for it.
Yeah, but it'll get them fresh for the playoff run. And
so it might be a good thing.
And get them ready for their hardest couple of games stretch.
If you had a week 5 bye, and then you have to play 14 straight plus playoffs in the year.
I've always said I would rather have the late bye.
Yeah.
That way you're going into the postseason, especially if you're a good team, going into the postseason with a little bit of a fresher start.
Now, is there a line 8.5 as well?
9.5.
Got to be 9. Okay.
Minus 140 for 9.5.
To over? Ooh.
And plus 120 for the under. Odds to win the division plus 105.
Yeah, that's the odds that Stacy got.
Scroll up.
There's no way they just. It's a tough schedule, but it's a really good football team. I like the opening for them. That is a positive in my opinion. You open up with
they should go at least 3-1, if not 4-0.
Colts on the road, Bears at home, at Minnesota, Jacksonville, Buffalo, New England. That's a 6-game stretch where
they should be.
Every one of them is winnable.
Bare minimum 4-2.
I was going to say 4-2, 5-1 start.
Bare minimum.
And then also, Green Bay, Indianapolis, not the hardest of games, but like that's. I think you need to be 4-2.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to how sold you are on like teams like Green Bay.
Yeah.
Teams like Indianapolis.
Yeah, and Chicago as well. All 3 of those teams are, also Jacksonville, also Buffalo. There's a lot of question marks for all those teams. And there's also question marks for the Texans.
Did you see Matt Milano got hurt yesterday?
Yeah, but he's going to be all right?
He tore his pec.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he tore his pec.
Ah, he's done?
You don't come back from that in a year.
He's done again?
He tore his pec.
Nah. No way.
1,000,000,000%. Or he tore his bicep, one or the other. He tore one of the muscles.
He tore his bicep.
There you go.
Indefinite out.
Yeah. They don't just heal.
Bills are done.
Yeah, probably. And we still don't have a damn safety, but Micah Hyde's a free agent.
No, he'll be a Saint.
He needs to be in Buffalo.
Well, look at that. I'd totally missed that.
Yeah, it happened like 3 days after we talked about him the other night.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, the Texans need to open up 4-2. That's it.
At the minimum.
And their 3 road games are probably the 3 easiest of those six.
100%.
At New England in October, weather won't be bad. And then the other 2 are 2 dome games against the Colts, who you want them week 1.
Why? Or you don't, because you're going to have a healthy A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Yeah, people call him
Rich.
that. People call him A-Rod.
How? Where's the Rod?
I don't know. I've seen it.
It's got to be A-Rich. A-Rod is Rodgers.
Yeah.
In the Minnesota, I mean, they're beating Darnold by 15.
Watch Darnold light this mug up this year, dude. Shout out Kevin O'Connell.
Texans are only a 2-point favorite week 1.
Because nobody knows. They lost last year to
the Colts might win the division.
They lost last year to them.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy.
What are they against Minnesota?
Do they have them out that quick?
Surely.
No.
Not boo.
Everything will be changed by then. Darnold might look like the MVP. I like this Texans team. It's hard not to take the over.
Yeah.
Because I think you do start off with 4-2, and they're not a bad enough team to where you can just start them tough games. They're going to go like 50-50 on them. And even if they go 40-60 on those, you probably still have enough wins for 10. They're a very talented team.
Because they're going to win a couple of those really hard games.
Yeah, definitely. Love the head coach. Love the OC.
Let's say you love the OC till you got to.
Yeah, love the quarterback. I mean, yeah, everything about Stroud was almost too perfect last year, but there's no reason to think he's going to have a significant drop-off. He's going to be really, really good at football again. And then, I mean, adding Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon to this team while not really losing anything is pretty insane. And then you got to factor in Danielle Hunter. And if say Jeff Okudah or C.J. Henderson plays like a freaking first-rounder.
Like they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Stingley takes that next step as a top 10 corner in the NFL.
He kind of did last year.
Yeah, there's a
After
lot.
He came back.
Like Jalen Petrie can be one of the best safeties in the NFL.
Jimmy Ward still exists.
There's a lot about this team that can go to another level from what were they last year? 12-5 or something? Let me see. They were 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
Totally felt like they won like 12 games.
No, they had a stretch.
Well, they can go 12-5 this year. I'll say that. They were hot out the back half. But what did they lose? They lost Carolina. Okay, that's funny. You lost against Carolina. You lost against the Colts, the Falcons, Jacksonville, the Jets, 30-6. Who the crap played quarterback there?
Tim Boyle.
Zach Wilson.
Shout out Zach.
Wow.
And that's once everybody was already riding on CJ.
Yeah. Wow. What was the spread for that game? 3.5. Interesting. Well, that's I think they can be a 12-win team. I definitely don't see them taking a step down from 10 wins. So what's the over under?
9.5 minus 140 for the over, plus 120 for the under.
Minus 140.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the big question.
It's got to be defense related. Scroll down from last year's schedule. Like, were they giving up a ton? Not really.
Not really.
Huh.
I don't really know the one question.
Were they a one-hit wonder? No, just be like, was it a fluke?
Yeah, I mean, something like that for sure. I think they're going to be really good. God, C.J. Stroud threw for 470 that week. He's awesome. Yeah, was it a fluke or something like that? We'll figure it out. All right. Anything else?
I
That's a fun division.
Let's pray that Austin Riley's not hurt.
Yeah, pretty much. Saints look good, huh?
Not really.
But yeah, that is it for this one. Good time talking football. 2 more divisions left. We'll do AFC West next. That should probably be the shortest one. I mean, 3 of the teams I just don't care
Nobody
about.
wants to talk about the freaking Raiders.
No one wants to talk about 3 of the teams, and then no one wants to talk about the Chiefs.
No one wants to talk about the Broncos. No one wants to talk about the Chiefs.
The Chargers maybe are interesting because of Harbaugh.
For like a 5-minute segment.
I think Dobbins is going to be an awesome year this year. He's my guy that I'm going for in every fantasy draft. That's my one.
Until he tears his
Hey, and if he does, then it's the Gus Bus show again. All right.
This ain't how it's supposed to be. It should be just you and me.